Hey guys, this is Reed on behalf of LNR DBSCG. I'm back with another deck profile. Today doing Black Masked Saiyan, or just Masked Saiyan, which is also Super Saiyan 3 Bardock on the Awakened side. Masked Saiyan is really fun if you're looking for black aggro. Black is a bit in the mud right now, but still this is a really fun deck to play. It is a bit of a multicolored deck, I suppose, because you can splash other stuff, but the main reason we're running this deck is for black aggro. Going into the deck, or going into the leader, you have the activate main where you once per turn burst 3 off the top of your deck, add 1 card from your life to your hand. If it is a black card, he gains crit for the turn. If it is another color besides black, he gains critical for the turn. So you can swing 15 crit, your first couple turns, and part of the reason we take life is so we can awaken early. Typically I want to awaken by turn 2, kill my opponent as late as turn 3 if at all possible, but the awakening is a draw 1 and untap 1 leader, and then once he flips over, he has the same activate main where you burst 1, or you burst 3. If it's a black card that's burst, he gains critical. If it is a yellow card, or if it is another color besides black, he gains plus 5k. And a fun little tech for this leader that I think everyone knows at this point, you can actually do the activate main burst to gain the plus 5k critical, flip him over and gain another plus 5k. So you can swing 25 crit on your awakening side for the first time, which is really good and really helps the aggro push that you're trying to do as well. He has a standard leader auto where when he swings he draws 1 card, and he also has an auto where if you activate a spirit boost skill, you can actually just restand the leader and swing again. And getting into the deck a little bit, we run 4 of the Black Masked Saiyan yellow, which he has the permanent where he is treated as black as well, or treated as he has no specified cost. He has an auto where if you add 1 card from your life to your hand, he gains plus 11k, so he's a 15k body, and he has an activated main where you spirit boost 1, and he can actually restand. So that's yet another card that can restand with your leader, and they're dealing with 4 attacks as opposed to 2. I do proxy the Supreme Kai Space Time Guardian. This card's like $11 on TCG Player. I'm broke. I'm not spending that money. So, but she's really important to the deck because if she gets milled off, you can actually play her for free, which is a theme of this deck. She also has the ability to be a super combo of sorts, where if you have 5 or less cards in your hand and you combo with her, she gets plus 5k combo power. More mill stuff. We have the Super Saiyan Go Tanks Unison, where if you mill him off, you can actually play him from the drop with a marker on it. He has a +2 ability where you discard 1 card, he gains plus 10k for the turn, and he has a -4 ability where he gains dual attack and also an additional 20k. So he can help push for game as well, but I've noticed in testing that -4 typically doesn't come up, but he's still a really good free play option, and he can also put a lot of pressure on the board and on your opponent. Next up, we run the Vegex package. We've got Time Agent Trunks. He is a free play. If he's milled, add 1 card from your life to your hand and he gets played. And then he also has the blocker ability, so he's a nice little defensive piece if you need it, but just there as a free body. And speaking of Vegex, we have 3 of the Time Agent Vegeta. He's a 19k body. He does have unique, so if you do mill off multiple, you only get to play 1, but he has the auto where he can actually be played if he's milled off. And then he has a activate battle where for 2 energy, you can warp a card on your opponent's side. So just more free play bodies, 19k, pretty hard to deal with. Your opponent has to combo out at that point. Standard black super combo. We run 4 of the Super Saiyan Vegeta super combo. Bottom deck 1, draw 2. You're at 4 life by turn 2, so these turn on pretty quickly, and you help put a lot of pressure if your opponent's not negating attacks. Best secret rare in the game, Super Saiyan Gogeta, thwarting the Dark Empire. Even at a 1-of, you still feel the effects of him. I mean, you swing, warp a card, double strike, comes in for 1 energy. You can either play him off the Overrealm, and we also do play some Gokus and Vegetas that we'll go into in a moment, and you can just play him off the Union Fusion. It's just a ridiculously good card. So, there's no reason not to run this card if you're playing black. Probably a niche pick because I think that the Tag Team Son Gohan is better, but the Tag Team Super Saiyan 3 Trunks is fine in testing. Gohan I think might be better just because Gohan is a free play, but you can Overrealm 3 this guy, and when he comes in he does gain crit. He also has the ability to gain double strike as well, so he still helps with pressure, but I do think that if you are in the market for it, if you have the budget for it, Super Saiyan 3 Gohan is a better pick than this card, but Trunks is just fine. He comes with the starter deck, so he might be the cheaper option, and he might, if you're looking for a budget option, I think Trunks is fine. We have 2 of the Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Goku solid overall option. If you overwhelm him, you can pick up a battle card between 3 cost to 7 cost and pick it out of your drop area, so you can get your thwartings back. There's a lot of selections you have there, a lot of options and choices you have. He's also just a 30k body to help with the aggression as well. So really good option. Speaking of more aggro pieces, we run 3 of the Ravager Vegetas. He gains crit, overwhelm 3, and he also replaces the 3 cards that you overwhelm him with. So, if you want to play this card early, if you have a couple cards in your drop area, warp them off, play him overwhelm 3, and he automatically fills your drop area back up with 3 more cards. So we run 1 of the Super Saiyan Bardock the Tenacious. This is just a good floodgate option if you need it. You can play him and your opponent can only attack 1 more time for the turn with battle cards. So I mean, this card is, fine. He hasn't come up too much in testing. He usually gets milled off, but if you do see him, we don't run a lot of negates in this deck, but if you do see him, he's a perfectly fine option. Kind of a interesting tech choice just for me. I thought about cutting this card entirely, but Mecha Gabora is solid just to not have to deal with the Gogeta 8-drop or the Sen 8-drop, or if they're going to play a Z battle card next turn, or they're going to drop some big monster on you, then you can just, give a shout out to what, the cost is, what the name of the card is, and then play it, and then they can't play it for the turn, so. Mecha usually does get milled off, but when he comes up, he comes up. We also run the True Fighting Spirit package here. I run 2 of the Vegeta and 2 of the Goku. Everybody knows what they do at this point. True Fighting Spirit's nice just for self-awakening purposes, as well as the Vegeta is. And Son Goku can also help with getting around counters. So a little bit of hand control in this deck as well. But mostly we're just using him for self-awakening and also for the Gogeta thwarting. Up next, the card that is broken as shit in this deck is the Mass Saiyan. You can Spirit Boost 1 for 1 energy. You can drop him in the drop area. Your opponent makes a choice. They either bottom deck 1 life, or he comes in and he's a 15k dual attacker. So he's either going to be an aggro piece or a free burn option for you. He also helps with the leader ability as well, because the leader needs the extra color to get the plus 5k. So if you mill the blue, then that's fine as well. Another one of is the Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. This card's also broken as shit. Usually we're not making it to turn 4, so he doesn't come up too often, but if the game does have to go long, I absolutely do not mind having to sit on this guy if I need to. And just a really good triple attack blocker. He makes your opponent warp 2 from hand. He also kills 2 ignoring barrier, so just really, really good all around one-off card. I didn't really need to run any more than this, but when he comes up, he's definitely needed. Kind of getting to the end of this deck here. Typical aggro pieces, just 2 double strike Kais, and then for counter plays we're running 4 of the Super Kamehameha. I guess I'll put the reprint up. But 4 Super Kamehameha, we're at 4 life pretty quickly by turn 2, turn 3, so we're going to go ahead and get a free, counterplay if need be. A lot of stuff is coming out for pretty cheap, and some things reduce cost, so it definitely comes up. But Super Kamehameha is probably the best black counterplay you can play. And then finally, or I guess wrapping up the counter attacks here, we have Petrification. Everybody knows what Petrification does at this point. Ignores barrier, basically, stone walls, anything that it targets. So just a really good card all around. And then the secret rare of choice is the Brainwashed Kai. Brainwashed Kai has not come up in testing, but still is a really solid card. Definitely helps with the aggro if need be, but could also serve as a bit of a board wipe or removal piece as well. But yeah, that's about it. Pretty self-explanatory, just black aggro. You're either going to kill your opponent or going to kill yourself. It just kind of boils down to how the game goes. But again, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.